I never thought the very people I loved and trusted would be the ones to destroy me from the inside. My name is Michael, I'm 36, and the day I uncovered the truth about my wife Emily and my youngest brother Jake was the day my world collapsed. The sting wasn't only in their betrayal, but in the silent complicity of my parents, who chose to protect her rather than me. That choice left scars deeper than I could have imagined. At first, it all crept in slowly. Emily had grown distant, explaining it away with heavy workloads and endless late nights at the office. Jake, usually carefree, became withdrawn whenever she was near. The way their eyes met, the secretive little smiles, they carried a charge that I didn't want to acknowledge. I convinced myself I was imagining it. To me, family and marriage were sacred, and I refused to believe they could crumble. But one night shattered the fragile wall of denial I'd built. I had gone to the living room looking for a charger, when I caught their voices drifting from the kitchen. I froze, half thinking I'd misheard. Then Emily's laugh, soft, intimate, conspiratorial, cut through me. Jake's hushed, guilty tone followed. In an instant, the unthinkable became undeniable. My wife. My brother. Together. My chest tightened as if a vice had closed around it. Disbelief and fury crashed through me. And then came the second blow, realization. My parents had known. Their careful avoidance of certain subjects, their strange loyalty toward Emily, all of it suddenly made sense. They had seen enough to recognize what was happening. And instead of warning me, they shielded her. They betrayed me by choosing silence. I sat alone for hours in my bedroom that night, piecing together every memory. The family vacations, the dinners, the laughter that now felt like mockery. What had been real? What had been a performance? The pain wasn't confined to my marriage. It cut across blood ties. My wife and my brother had joined in betrayal, and my parents had played accomplices. I didn't scream. I didn't break down. I simply sat there, numb, while a plan began to form in my mind. If I was going to confront this, I couldn't rely on assumptions. I needed evidence. Undeniable proof. Some betrayals are so monumental, so seismic, that nothing less than cold, hard truth can unravel them. In the days that followed, I became an observer in my own home. Every suspicious glance, every hushed call, every adjustment to Emily's schedule became part of a growing puzzle. I logged dates, times, snippets of conversations. I collected photos, messages, anything that could solidify what I already knew. The hardest part was looking at my parents, realizing they had watched me live in ignorance and said nothing. That betrayal cut deepest of all. The more I uncovered, the stronger my resolve became. My shock hardened into strategy. Rage gave way to calculation. I gathered proof not just for myself, but to make sure none of them could deny what they had done. Emily and Jake thought they were clever, but their patterns left trails. Friends slipped details. Social media carried traces. Piece by piece, I built the timeline of their deceit. By the end of the week, I had everything. The smirks, the secrets, the silences. They no longer had the power to gaslight me. The truth was documented, undeniable, and ready to be revealed. The day I chose for confrontation was deliberate. No shouting. No chaos. Just clarity. I called Emily, Jake, and my parents into the living room. The atmosphere was heavy, the kind that precedes a storm. Calmly, I spread out the evidence. Messages, photographs, timestamps. Emily gave a small, mocking smile at first, as if she expected me to stumble, but it faltered quickly as I walked them through the proof piece by piece. Every message stripped her confidence further. Jake shifted in his chair, sweat beading at his temples. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't have to. This, I said evenly, is what you all thought I would never see. My parents' faces drained of color. They couldn't defend their silence now. Their attempts to protect Emily lay exposed as betrayal in its own right. Emily tried to speak, but I shut it down. Explanations and excuses were meaningless against the truth I'd laid bare. In the days that followed, the fallout was absolute. My marriage disintegrated. My bond with Jake was destroyed. My parents could no longer pretend their choices hadn't cost me everything. The family I once trusted fractured beyond repair. But for me, there was a strange kind of peace in the wreckage. I hadn't sought vengeance, only justice. Exposing them wasn't cruelty, it was survival. They thought they could lie, conceal, and move on while I lived in ignorance. They underestimated me. They underestimated truth. As I sat in the quiet afterward, I understood something clearly. Betrayal clarifies. It burns away illusions and reveals character for what it really is. Yes, I was wounded. Yes, they took pieces of my heart I can never get back. But in exposing them, I reclaimed myself, my dignity, my sanity, my future. Some betrayals shake the ground beneath your feet so violently that nothing can ever be the same. But with truth in hand, you can rebuild on stronger ground. That night, I stopped being the man who was deceived. I became the man who saw clearly, who faced it, and who walked away with his head high. Because sometimes the only way to heal is to drag betrayal into the light and let it destroy itself.